انسنينا يا هبو، انسنينا يا هبو، وانسنينا يا هبوب النعاس والحلم. ألف غصن من اللباس بس لجلك وانثنى، اكسر الأوهام كاس وإن عشقتيني أنا. ما أبي من الناس الناس، ما أبي من الناس الناس، وما علينا لو ضربنا وانتشينا. ما رق الرياض، ما رق الرياض تالي الليل. أنا لو أبي خدتها بيدها ومشينا.
Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne.
بالنسبه لما يجيك ستيف بروس مثلا يحط لك 5 في خط الدفاع ويلعب مهاجمين،
Excuse me,
اللاعبين
Ravi.
اللي في النص.
What is your VPN?
ماي دي بي ان،
Yes.
ماي دي بي ان سبايدر دي بي ان.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم في نيوكاسل مع وليد، مع حلقة تعرف على نيوكاسل أكثر مع ديف. طبعا مش بس نيوكاسل، تعرف أكثر برضو على الرياض. يعني نعرف نيوكاسليين في السعودية ومدنها، وأيضا ديف يعرفنا على نيوكاسل، تفاصيل أكثر عن المدينة التي بها نادي نيوكاسل يونايتد الذي يملكه صندوق الاستثمارات السعودي. Welcome Dave.
Are we putting that?
Great,
Yeah.
great, I'm great.
Good
Did you
lad.
have you drive 4x4 in desert before?
Not in desert before, but I'd love to. Yeah, that's exactly. But I think
And-
you'd have to have parachutes on if I was driving.
Today we'll talk I will give you because it's very difficult to talk about Riyadh. Riyadh is very big city. So every episode we will have some sightseeing to discuss, and
Brilliant.
also you have another sightseeing from Newcastle. You will talk about it later. Before we start with the Riyadh sightseeing, now you are from Newcastle. You live in Newcastle now. Any recent or any rumors or any news you can tell us about director, manager, sport manager? Any
No,
latest?
The latest we've got from here is that Tyndall, the coach, he'll take the conference on Friday's conference, because Eddie Howe's he's still in isolation. There's been rumours the last couple of days about director of football. I don't know what's happened to Michael Emanalo. That seems to have disappeared. But we're talking about a guy from Barcelona now, someone called Planes.
Yeah.
But that's been knocked on the head. But they're talking. No, that hasn't been knocked on the head. What's been knocked on the head is Mark Overmars. Mark Overmars has now distanced himself. He doesn't want to come as director of football. But like they say, this new guy from Barcelona, who's just left Barcelona, he's now been linked with a director of football job. Apparently, he's got some good reports, but just see if I can get his name, his proper name.
But Dave, it's look like this is gonna take a while, because now every time is a new name. I don't think there will be a sudden, because I'm surprised. I feel that it will happen last week, but when starting this week, Monday, it was very quiet.
Yeah,
everybody expected to be signed last week, but this week is quiet. What do you think the reason of this?
I don't know. Maybe it's because Eddie Howe is unavailable. Maybe they need him in to discuss the sort of targets that he might want. So
that's good point. Good point.
They maybe don't want to bring anybody in until Eddie Howe is back, and Eddie Howe can say, "Look, and this is where I want to strengthen, and this is where." I mean, there's nothing stopping them.
But they can do, but okay, makes sense. But maybe they can do like video call.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever the reason is, I'm unaware. The only thing I can presume myself is that maybe it's that people like Michael Emanalo and others have said, like Mark Overmars said, they're not interested, while Newcastle are in the situation that they are. And I think if we'd won against Bournemouth, against Brentford, I think maybe there might be a decision come earlier. But because it's one of the latest things, we're now 38% on being relegated. That's what the pundits, the pundits, as I may say, in London are suggesting, that Newcastle are virtually second favourites for relegation.
No, they just want us to feel this. They want to break us down still early.
Yeah, they're not. It doesn't work, because even after the result on Saturday, I think a lot of people saw a big difference. And Joe Linton, for me, was man of the match. He was absolutely outstanding. And yeah, he shouldn't. If he had longer studs in and hadn't fallen over in the box, he may have grabbed the winner. But the fact is, he looked a million times better. The defense is still creaky. I think Fabian, Shaw, he let me down. But as well as that, I think there's a need for possibly some more stronger players in the back. But I think Shaw let me down, and I think Clark wasn't at his best. But there's still signs that we're doing better. We're playing better. We're attacking. We weren't sitting with 5 across the back. We're sitting. They had three people across the back and two wing backs. With what we're used to playing like. So we had Murphy bombing down the right hand side, and we had Matt Ritchie supporting the left hand side. It worked. It was getting there. It was getting the ball in the box. It was, we scored 3 goals at home. We actually scored 3 goals. Fair enough.
First time of the season, yeah.
Yeah, we conceded 3 as well. But the fact is, we scored 3 goals, and we haven't looked like scoring more than 1 goal a game. And we've got now that hopefully will go to Arsenal, and we'll see a difference.
We will back to Arsenal game. Also, we'll discuss Brentford at the third part of the show. Now let's start with Riyadh City, and you asked me to do something for Riyadh, and here I am. Let's start. Okay, this is my location in Riyadh. I share my location.
Yeah, me. That is something. You're smack bang in the middle.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Riyadh City. Some information about Riyadh. Capital, main financial. It's on the desert plateau in country center. Business district, landmark include 300 mile High Kingdom Center with a
300
sky bridge connecting two
mile,
towers.
300 mile, 300
Mile,
meters.
yeah.
Ooh, meters, I hope. 300 miles a long, a long way.
Yes, exactly. And
Sorry.
I put this picture for because to make sure of the numbers. Look to the population. Population 7.6 million in 2018. So I believe now we are more than 8 million.
In the city centre.
This is only in Riyadh, and the area is 1,973 kilometer per square.
Ooh.
So yeah, so
that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's the sound thing again. So first sightseeing we'll talk about is the edge of the world, or edge of the world. We'll have some video here and some information. Edge of the world is one of the popular sightseeing in Riyadh. Just I have too much videos here. Okay, this is, as you can see, this beautiful. It's look like the edge of the world, really.
It does. It's beautiful though.
Yes, and let me hear some information. The edge of world, its real name is Jebel Fehrain, one of the Saudi most popular tourist destination. Got its nicknames from a unique reputed view of horizon. It offers top 300-meter high cliffs, which overlook the surrounding plain. It's part of the much longer Twig escarpment and drops down roughly 305 meters into ancient ocean level. From the top of cliffs, you will spot dried rivers waving across the land and may even see camels moving far below. Caravan route once passed through these grounds. This is the first sightseeing for us today. Second one is the red sand dunes. Red sand is in northeastern Riyadh, has become popular weekend destination among Saudis and expatriates who are fond of the desert. As its name suggests, the sand is red, as you can see. It's an hour drive along winding road, mountains areas, ancient dates forests, and green hills and valleys can be seen along the way. Number 3, and last sightseeing for us today, is Al Masmak Palace. Yes. Okay. The history of Al Masmak fortress, a vast clay and mud brick citadel that witnessed the birth of the kingdom. Al Masmak, the word means high, strong and thick building, serves as a proud reminder Saudi Arabia's storied history. In 1902, King Abdulaziz captured the fortress and took control of Riyadh, his ancestral home, after having lived in exile in Kuwait. From the fortress, Abdulaziz Al Saud conquered and united the different kingdoms and provinces that make up the Saudi nation as we know it today. Built in 1865, the fortress has served many purposes, although originally used to house the Guardians who protect the city. That's number 3 sightseeing. So we have Edge of the World, Red Sand Dunes, and Al Masmak Palace. This is very 3 popular historical sightseeing, because in Riyadh there is historical and there is recent sightseeing, modern sightseeing. But we start today with historical, and we will have something for modern in a few minutes. Okay, so now let's talk another. Let's go around the way and say what you can do in Riyadh.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do? We have many things you can do. So let's start with something you will notice. It's going to be. I want you to comment on it.
Okay. Will do.
Dave. All right. First thing you can يعني I don't know. Are you interested to do this, Dave?
Yeah.
Sky, sand ski.
Sand
ski.
ski.
Sorry, sand ski.
Well,
Do you think?
yeah.
Do you believe it exists, Dave?
I didn't think it would. I didn't. I've seen people. I've seen people snowboarding on sand, but I've never seen people skiing on sand.
Yeah, and see.
And to me, I prefer that than the white stuff because I cannot stand snow. I can't stand the cold. So to do something like this in this,
it's less dangerous because this.
Yeah, you're not going to fall over and bang your head on any rocks, are you? No, and there's going to be no avalanches.
Yes,
no.
It's soft sand.
Yes,
soft warm sand.
I'd love to have a go at that as well. Yeah, that's.
And you can do it by your own feet, as this gentleman. He's like surfing on the sand.
Well, in Newcastle, what many of the kids would do when they were younger, they'd get the nearest large hill, and they would do roly-polies down the hill. So you'd roll on your side all the way down to the bottom of the hill and see who would get there the fastest. So that would be something interesting to do in the desert. Doing roly-polies.
Actually, I did this by myself last February before I got injured and before the operation. But it was really great. We went for hiking. This is second thing you can do: hiking. Great places for hiking. It's difficult, a bit dangerous, but a lot of people do it. I did it by myself, and it was a general trip. It was sand ski, hiking, camping, fireplace, stargazing, biking, and tat'is. We will show you now what tat'is mean. So I tried this by myself. It's very nice. They bring you on some mountains, soft sand, very high, and they let you go down and up. It's very difficult, especially going up. But it was a lot of fun. So after hiking, also you can do great. For me, I love camping. One of my favorite things. I love camping, especially the well-equipped camp, not just something normal or regular. You know, I like this well-prepared camping. As you can see, this is all in Riyadh.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That.
Yeah, I love this, and especially now. Now it's not that very cold, and you can tolerate. Maybe it's getting cold after midnight, but it's not that cold, annoying cold, you know. Okay, and also you can do, of course, stargazing. This picture taking near Riyadh.
That'd be lovely. That because I'm very interested in this astronomy. I'm very interested in astronomy, so I'd be able to see the sky again. Because in the UK we don't get to see the sky at night because of light pollution. So if you want to go and see the stars, you've got to go. If you want to see a lot of the stars, you've got to go to dark places, and there's not very many dark places in the UK. So.
Yes, and this photo by Abdullah Al-Masleh, result from my recent trip to eastern part of Saudi Arabia last week. Milky Way. Okay, this is a very lovely picture for stargazing.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Yes, and the sand is so smooth, and even if you sit on it, you can clear. You will not make your clothes dirty. It's easy cleaned because it's very soft. All right. Now this is the fun part. Okay, before discuss, let's play this video. It's 4-minute video.
Oh, good.
So let's take it as a break.
اطلع بره، اطلع بره.
ما شاء الله.
عز والله.
كفو كفو. ما شاء الله. اسلم اسلم اسلم. تعلق.
قدام والفزعة بطلية صادم الرد سحنا وتحداها ما ضاع مطلق ولا ضاعت عزوية والحق وحلي حقه فيكم بيقاها عند
ما شاء الله. ما شاء الله. اسلم اسلم ما شاء الله.
That's bloody amazing. I'd love to know that. Like I told you, if you won the car next to me, when we go over that stand, you'd need parachutes. Yes, it looked really good. That it looked really good.
This is famous sport. It's dangerous, and actually, يعني for me, I didn't go this far. I'm not that fan of it, but it's people loved it here. It's called تطعيس. It's like surfing but with a car, in the sand. So this is very famous but very dangerous. But unfortunately, people do it a lot.
How is it
So,
dangerous? It doesn't look dangerous. I mean, obviously.
yeah, but this one is okay. But some cliff is very high.
Ah, right.
The angle is very dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's like a 70-degree angle, or this is different. So look to this guy. Oof. This is like surfing. See?
Dear me. Yeah.
And they are in the video. They were doing a like a competition between competition between American and Japanese cars.
Right.
Okay, for me, I do this sometimes.
But quite
before me, yeah, the four wheel, but I don't go to like dangerous level. I love this Wrangler Jeep. I do this, but for small, not like very, I don't like dangerous because it's sometimes it's difficult. It's like not that. Yeah, I don't want to be in a trouble, but people do it a lot here, especially in this this weather now. So, which which of these four you like more? Sand, ski, hiking, camping, or تطعيس?
I like the camping and the top years. Camping in the top year. I'd love to do the camping. The camping looks really, to me, that's all part of desert life, and you know how you live in the desert, and be next to an oasis and open fires, and you know, only thing I'd be worried about is scorpions
Yes.
and snakes. Scorpions and
Oh,
snakes.
oh,
But
brilliant.
but the top years, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing certainly the 4x4 and the Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, my father, يعني he took us before just to go watch, not يعني doing it, but just watch people do it. يعني it's safer this way.
And you
Okay.
get, honestly, it's one of those things you'd get. People from Newcastle would love to be able to do that, and because there's an awful lot of people flying around Newcastle city centre without the sand dunes with 4x4s
Yes.
and revving their engines, but to get out onto the sand, yeah, it'd be.
And yeah, and the four-wheel bike is it's much more يعني for me it's fun and much more safer than the car.
Mhm.
That's nice. So okay, this is the historical.
Mhm.
So just I will show you now. Now we have Riyadh season. Season of Riyadh is much modern, really, and يعني I still didn't have time to go, but I'm planning to go next week. So I tried to play a video, but I will retweet it now because it's 5 minutes. I couldn't download it,
Mhm.
so I will just retweet it. And please, for the people who are watching, just see this is how modern the celebration now with Riyadh season. A lot of things is very recent, and it's worldwide. A lot of singer, a lot of artists on worldwide come to this events. So I will retweet it now in my account, just to give you an idea about Riyadh season, which is going now.
Mhm.
And this is the theme. It's like Imagine More by His Highness Turki Al Sheikh. He's the Minister of Entertainment, and this is the logo. It's Messi, of course, because he will come. He will come in January to play against Al Hilal Stars.
Yeah, for Newcastle.
hopefully, maybe he will lift Paris. Who knows? Hopefully that will happen. See Messi in Premier League, even for 1 year. Okay, so I just retweeted, and okay, this is for Riyadh season. I suggest just take a look on the video. I retweeted in Twitter, and now let's go. Or let's travel to Newcastle. By
Flying over the waters.
all right. So shall we start? So you choose Hadrian Wall.
Hadrian's Wall, yeah.
I have to give you credit, Dave. Your slides is much better. يعني much better, looking better than my photos.
No.
Really? No, I'm not just saying that. Okay, so Hadrian Walls.
Yeah, Hadrian's Wall.
Very amazing, yeah.
Is in between, as you can see, between on that map there, on the map of Hadrian's Wall, it separates. It separated the England from Scotland originally, and was constructed by the Emperor Hadrian as part of his outermost northerly limits of the Roman Empire. And Hadrian's Wall was supposed to signify that limit, that edge, and as it were. There is another wall which is further north in Scotland. It's actually called Antonine's Wall, which is up by Loch Lomond, I think, up that way. And it was abandoned because they couldn't control the Scottish people. So they came back to Hadrian's Wall and just stayed with Hadrian's Wall.
Sorry, Dave. So the Roman Empire, they built the Hadrian
Hmm.
to separate England and Scotland, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So Roman, where were they? يعني they were in Scotland or they were in England?
They were in England.
Ah, I see. Okay.
They didn't go.
Oh.
They didn't go north to Scotland. They tried to go north to Scotland, but they couldn't control the Scots. The Scots were too rebellious, so they abandoned Scotland and came back to Hadrian's Wall and built Hadrian's Wall to keep the Scots out. So that is the edge of here. That's the edge of Emperor Hadrian's the Roman Empire. The Roman wall, as you can see on the right-hand side, the map of the Roman wall. It starts from Barrow in Furness in Cumbria, which is to the left, which is to the left, and then it traverses all the way across the country and comes and ends at Wallsend, which is why Wallsend is called Wallsend, because it is the Wall's End. Wallsend is where our friend Junior Turner lives. Junior lives in Wallsend, so he's part of the Roman. He's part of the Roman heritage, as most of us are. But yeah.
So Dave, this wall now, there is a break, or it's damaged, or it's just now, there is a gate, or this is just continuous.
It's continuous. No. The wall, like I say, it begins in Barrow and Furness and ends in Wallsend. It has fallen into disrepair, and a lot of the stones that actually built the wall were taken by farm owners and farmlanders, and what they did is obviously they built farm walls and houses from the stones. So a lot of the places the wall doesn't exist anymore, but the path of the wall is still there. The foundations of the wall are still there. So you can see by that picture, from the first picture, you can see how the wall has actually fallen apart. But that's what makes it all the more interesting, because you can see the wall and how wide it was and how thick it was and what it must have taken to actually construct that. In the 20 years that Hadrian was the emperor, because Hadrian was only the emperor for 20 years. Yet he did more for the Roman Empire than any of the other Caesars before him. And he actually came out to visit. He came out to visit his empire, and one of the places he came to was Hadrian's Wall, where the wall was, and where they were building the towers and the forts and the castles. He came out to visit his troops, very much like a good leader should, and that's why obviously we've got Geordies actually love being associated with Hadrian and Hadrian's Wall.
I'm thinking if someone go by car from England to Scotland, there is a route
Yes.
between passing the wall.
Yes, there's a wall. There's two roads. There's the Great North Road, which is the A1M, which goes up the east coast, and I think it's the M5, which goes up the west coast. There's only two major roads that go across Scotland from England. There's only two major roads, not very, and it's wild, open countryside, and can get a lot of obviously, a lot of the areas where the wall is, it's in open countryside. There's no protection in the wind. It's cold. It's wet. There's no way that anybody from Riyadh would want to stay. And there's a one of the things I've put at the end is actually there's a lot of trekking, a lot of hiking tours actually go across the wall. It's set that you can walk the full the wall itself is only 74 miles. It's only 76 miles long.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not high. Is it because damaged, or this is the usual or actual height?
No, some parts of it are quite high. There's some
Ah,
of it. Some of the wall runs along some escarpments, and not 305 meters deep, but certainly built on the edge of an escarpment. So there is quite a large drop on the other side, which was obviously used to keep the people in rather than the people out. It's because they didn't want people leaving the Roman Empire to go to Scotland. So,
and
so
they have some movies about it. Yani maybe include the Hadrian, some old classic movies.
no, there's not. There's no movies regarding Hadrian. Nothing like that. You know, he's just.
Okay.
The thing is, when I went to Vatican City a few years ago, and there's a statue of Hadrian in the Vatican City, and I put my Newcastle scarf around around him, and I got told off by one of the guards, by one of the Swiss guards for putting my scarf around Hadrian's bust in the Vatican. You know, but I thought, well, he's
Oh, you are a naughty boy, Dave.
he's a Geordie boy. He's a Geordie boy in the Vatican City. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but yeah, Hadrian. He was called the Imperator Caesar Tyrannus Hadrianus Augusta. Obviously, so Tyrannus obviously means tyrant, but he wasn't a tyrant. During his reign, he actually only reigned from AD 117. Although he was born in AD 76, he was actually only a general in the army, and he actually became emperor in what?
So the wall it's built in during his era.
Yeah, the wall was built in his era.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
the wall
very
was,
very old.
yeah. So AD.
And it remind me of the Colosseum in Italy. The same, I think, time.
Yeah, there's a lot of places around by Hadrian's Wall, which obviously you can see a lot of the Italian influences, the Roman influences, and a lot of the lifestyles in Rome are very much the lifestyle which was actually abundant within the northeast region. And Hadrian, from that slide there, you're showing Hadrian's Wall is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's the whole wall itself, like I said, is only 73 miles from coast to coast, but you can hike, and the route that it takes for hiking is 84 miles. So to do that, and you can do that within 5 days, 6 days. And we offer there's tours. People can take hiking tours, and what they do is to walk along the wall and see and live how the Romans would have lived, and then you go back to a hotel or you go camping. Now, the camping we have here is nowhere near as prestigious as the camping you would have in the desert in Riyadh. The camping here would be in sleeping bags. You'd be very cold. You're like to get blown away. It'd be pouring with rain. So it's all part of the experience. Or what you do is you go and stay at a local hotel, and then what you do is your driver then picks you at your hotel, and then takes you back to where you finished the day before, and then you'll go back to where you finished, and then the following day you'll do the same thing. You'll walk 10 miles, 15 miles, and then you'll come back the following day. So it takes you a week to walk it, but you don't stay outside. You don't stay in the cold. You can't go back to a nice warm room with hot drinks and stuff like that. So, but there's a lot of forts and castles along the way that people can go and visit. A lot of them are free. so you can go in and you can have a walk around some of the old Roman villages. So some people might like that sort of thing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this is Sagadunum Fort. They only discovered Sagadunum Fort about 20 years ago, and this is at Wallsend. They were starting to build something, and they came across it accidentally. They didn't even know it existed.
What is it exactly?
It's just like an old fort. It's an old Roman fort, but it's actually based at Wallsend, and it's called Sagadunum.
You mean in the right or the left picture?
The right of the picture. What you can see on the left is a viewing tower. So if you want to see if you want to see the whole site, you can go up in that viewing tower and you can look down and you can see the whole site at what it looked like.
Okay, but in the right I didn't see any. I see just space or no, any.
Yeah, all you can see is the foundations and the
The
walls
foundation.
that are there. Yeah,
Okay. So it's been not completed or been damaged.
it's been demolished.
Okay.
When the Romans left, like I said, when the Romans left, a lot of the castles and the forts and the wall where they were demolished by the locals, and the stone was used to build houses and to build other walls. It was used to build all sorts, really. But what happened was that this is why a lot of the Roman forts don't exist anymore, is because they were taken down. They were taken down by the English locals after the Romans actually went back to Italy after the empire collapsed. Yeah, and this is just some of the places you can visit: Chester's Roman Fort and Birdswall's Roman Fort.
So this is part of the Hadrian or no? This is just.
Yes, it's all part of Hadrian's Wall.
Okay.
It's all along
But
Hadrian's
different place. Okay.
Yeah, all the way along the wall. There's different forts all the way along the wall. I think there's a.
How many years they took him to build? Maybe I missed that.
Well, he started building it. He started building it when he became emperor in AD 117. And the wall was finished in AD 136. I think it was 136. 2 years before he died. So he died in AD 138. But the wall was actually started in his lifetime, and it was finished in his lifetime, or there were certain parts of it were completed. And this image here is Sycamore Gap, which is part of Hadrian's Wall. The wall actually, you can see from the top picture on the left-hand corner, it actually goes up and down the hills, the escarpments. It just doesn't go to the straight line. It went up and down with the hills. And Sycamore Gap is it's one of the places that is possibly the most photographed trees in the country, if not the world, because it's one of these sites where you've got this one tree growing in the middle of nowhere. It was used in the film Robin Hood, which Kevin Costner was in, and Kevin Costner sat next to this tree. It was part of being in all sorts of TV programs. It's just a very, very lovely tree in a very nice place. It's very scenic. It's one of those places that people like to go to and to sit and have a picnic and have a photograph, because it's right in the open Northumberland National Park, and it's in a beautiful area to live and to walk. It's just very beautiful. Yeah, this is the last page here. It's just a company that actually do Hadrian's Wall holidays, the trekking holidays where you can go hiking. If people want to go, they can actually contact this company, and they will arrange hiking tours, ranging from 5 days up to 10 days. You can go walking along the wall, and you obviously you get your people, if they log on to that site, it'll tell you about different things that you do. You'll be camping, you'll be eating in the open air. You know, a lot of different things along with the hiking part. So, and if people actually, there's a code on there. If anybody wants to book in 2022, if they put that code in, they'll get 10% off. They'll get 10% off bookings. So, you know, if people want to come to the northeast and they fancy walking along Hadrian's Wall in the summer months in June, July, August, September.
Actually, I'm kind of regret that I didn't go there. يعني. Okay, I was close, but it was night, and
Yeah.
because I get busy. But hopefully next time, definitely, I'm going there.
Yeah.
So still here have.
Yeah, this is Housted's Roman fort. This is again it's one of the forts on the route. It's just one of these. A lot of these places like Housted's and Vindolanda, the next slide, are ongoing archaeological digs. So they're still actually discovering.
This one?
Yeah, people if they want to, if they have an archaeological interest, they can actually pay, and what they can do is they can spend a week where they can actually go and dig and find Roman artifacts. So you can actually go and dig and look for Roman history, and that's also something that's available to people who want to come up to the northeast. It's very interesting to do. People who've been going, some people who've been have actually found important artifacts. They found money. They found Roman uniforms and armor. But just ordinary tourists, you know, who come along. And Corbridge is a Roman town. It's a little town on the way. It's between Newcastle and Hexham. Hexham is one of the bigger towns within Northumberland, and Corbridge is a little Roman town, but it's very quaint. It has a lot of it's got restaurants and pubs and places to visit. It's just a very old English town, very old English place to visit. You know, just one of those little places people from around the country come up to visit. I mean, it may not be top ace. We don't go racing around there, but it's more people tend to go walking around there.
Is it popular? People go there. Popular going a number.
Yeah, it's very popular. Very popular. People.
Yeah, and there is a count. Follow me since the beginning of my I start Newcastle show. It's called Hadrian.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Hadrian is a name, just a name of the person. So I remember last time he said to me, "Have you visited my name?" Said under that. Back then, I understand. Now it's a place.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. Very interested. Great information. Thank you, Dave, for bringing this up. Great choice, and hopefully next time I will visit it at daylight. Hadrian Wall, very historical.
If you're not doing so many interviews next time, I'll take you along.
Okay.
But there's actually parts of the Roman wall in Newcastle itself, but it only like small pieces, about 10 meters long, where you can actually see the Roman wall in Newcastle city centre.
You mean they took it as a museum, for a museum thing?
No, it's just a part of the wall which runs past one of the main roads in Newcastle. It's there. It's been uncovered and it's been fenced off, but you can actually see the Roman wall, and you can get an idea of where the Roman wall was and and how long it was. But you can actually go and stand on that wall if you want to as well. But it's actually it's in the city.
In the city, but is it separate from the wall itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's part of the wall. No, it is the
Part.
wall. It's where the wall. So the Hadrian's Wall actually runs through Newcastle city centre. But a lot of it's been built over. A lot of it was being built over.
Yeah.
But in certain places, there's parts of it still exist, and you can still see it. So it's.
Hopefully also. Okay. I will put this in my list for a second time.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Dave. So now let's go back to the games. Now we are worried. The worriness increasing now after Brentford game. So you give us an idea about Brentford, and remember when we discussed last week about the formation. We didn't expect this formation. So what do you think of it so far?
To me, it was okay apart from Kieran Clark and Fabian Schär. I think 5 and 2 let were down. I think Schär and Clark they let were down. And Carl Darlow, I don't know how on earth. I mean, I used to be a goalkeeper, and the one thing I would never do as a goalkeeper is to try and save something with my feet. If I have to, I'll save with my feet. But as a goalkeeper, you're expected to get your body behind the ball or get your hands behind the ball. And the fact is, he didn't do either. He tried to stop it with his feet and hit his foot and then went through his arms. And I can't understand what on earth he was doing. I mean, even Peter Schmeichel was on the telly a few weeks ago when he was having a go at another goalkeeper. I think it was David, when it was De Gea, because De Gea likes to try and save the ball with his feet as well.
He's good at that.
He's good at that, but what you should be doing is going down and getting your hands behind the ball. And I think Darlow, when you score a goal, the first thing you do is you defend for the next 5 minutes. You keep them out for the next 5 minutes. So to concede within a minute of actually going 1-0 up, to be pegged back to 1-1 was shocking. And I think they just weren't ready, and they weren't keeping the Clark just lost. Ivan Toney just lost him, and he hit that ball, and I just thought, Darlow was going to save it, and then I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I just thought, what on earth was he doing? But you got to give the crowd some thanks as well, because the crowd got behind Darlow. They started singing his name, to try and lift his spirits. You know what I mean? But the fault was his. He should have kept that out. But like you say, the whole team. I mean, Shelby was playing. I didn't expect Shelby to be playing. But everybody else was in the team, and like we said, we thought Almiron would play on, but he played Willock instead of Almiron, and Willock had a good game as well. And Hayden wasn't playing, so I was over the moon Hayden wasn't playing, because I think he's a liability. But when they brought Longstaff on, I thought he looked out to play. I think he looked lost when he came on. When they brought him on, he looked lost. But Joe Linton, I've been calling him all season. I've called him Joe Linton. I've called him a cart horse. But he was man of the match. He was very tricky. Very tricky. He was good link-up player. I just wish he had longer studs. Because he kept slipping over. Twice he slipped over in that game when he was actually into the box. So what do you think?
Comment in your comments. regarding Darlow, you were right, but I think he's angled himself wrongly as well, positioned himself wrongly. But I saw the comments of Ivan Toney. He said, I know Darlow weakness point is the shots, it's just above the field, just a little high. So maybe this is true, and I think this is, it's difficult. It's not weakness point for any goalkeeper, but this is difficult for any goalkeeper as well. I think now he make it easier for the coach to choose Dubravka next game. My worry about the defense, I don't know why it's 5 in the back. I thought this should change. Now it says here 3-4-3, but actually it was 5. It was 5 at the back.
No, he did actually play 3-4-3, but he played Richie and he played Murphy as wing backs. So it would be in certain when they were defending, it would be 5-2-3.
Yeah, and defending, but I don't think Richie good in covering left back as well. No, so one of the goals he was miscovered the left back area. He's very slow.
Yeah, well he is. He is.
He's expert, but you don't expect him to play in at last level of his career, to be in different defense, different position for playing for 90 minutes every game. This is wrong.
Yeah, he was. I think where he needs to play is in midfield.
Yes, and not the 90 minutes, just maybe substitution.
Yeah.
He have a great crosses as well, so he should be behind maybe Maximin or on the left side, but he shouldn't be on the left defending in the left back.
No.
So this is and I think. Do you think it's gonna be continues the same? Because for me, I love the attacking. The attacking was great. It was like shape of a star.
Yeah.
I noticed Wilson, Joelinton, St. Maximin, Willick, and I think maybe Murphy as well. And it was like 5, and they are close together on the area of 18 yard. The 5 was very close together. They can pass, they can make 1-2. They are ready for crosses from Richie and Murphy. It was very active plan for attacking. I love the attacking, and as Eddie Howe says in the conference, he said, "You will see Newcastle play the way you like or the way you expect," and this has actually happened.
Yeah.
So I am fine. I'm fine with attacking, but I am not satisfied at all from the defense.
Yeah, you're right. And if you go back to the first day Eddie Howe took training, he was actually doing exactly what he said the team would do on Saturday.
Yes.
He was getting the team to pass and move and run into space and to do all that, which is what they did. They did that, and so yes, I think it was good, and I think the defensive side of it was very lacking, and I think Fabian Shaw and Kieran Clark, I don't think they'll play. I don't think they'll play on Saturday against Arsenal. I don't think they'll play. I think it'll be different. I don't know who will be different. But I think they'll need people with more maneuverability, who can move better than what they can. And we can't have Matt Ritchie having to cover left back. Matt Ritchie can't be covering the left back and then be expected to be on the left wing to cross the ball. So I think they need somebody in the left back position who can do the running. Whether that's Manquillo, they bring Manquillo to play on the left hand side. I think maybe a better option.
Regarding Willick, yesterday in Space, I host Charlie Bennett. He said it's a confidence thing. And for me, maybe I agree, kind of agree a bit, but I think it's pressure. As long he was the only deal we get in the summer. So what do you think the reason drop in the performance of Willick, Dave?
I think it's because we're playing a completely different system to what we were playing when he first came. I don't think we had much up front when he first came, and he was given that role by Steve Bruce to run in behind. And I think now what they've done now is trying to play him in a proper position, and he's not given that free role anymore. And because he's not got that free role, he's not running into the box as he would do, like he was doing the last part of the last season when he was running into the box and picking up loose balls. So
maybe he have more defense roles.
He's got more defensive role now. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So what you would like to change against Arsenal? We'll come now to Arsenal formation against Liverpool last game when they get beat 4-0. But what do you think what you would like change in this formation there?
Dubravka in goal. I would probably play Mankio at right back. And I don't know who to play at left back.
Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis, yes, he's a lot younger, but he's got more maneuverability, and I think Mankio on the right hand side and Lewis on the left hand side might be what we need. We need somebody who's got a bit more legs about them.
So, what did you see? What do you see in Manquillo and you didn't see in Murphy?
No, Murphy's fine. It's Shaw that has to go. It's Shaw. Shaw, yeah.
Why?
He looked totally off the pace. He looked lost. He kept losing the ball. So me, Shaw would be one of those players who would step out, and I would put Mankio in where Shaw is, and I'd keep Murphy where he is because Murphy was giving you that overlap. He was coming down the outside, and he was giving us an overlap, and he was able to cross the balls in. And if not, he was then pulling back and dropping the ball off to Shelvey. So I think Murphy would stay for me. I like Murphy. He gives with that extra dimension down the right hand side. He gives with that person who can run past with the person with the ball and take the ball off. And then I think Murphy will do us good. But if Murphy wasn't playing, then it'd have to be Almiron, because you want the player who can run past and who can take a ball on.
So Almiron, speaking of Almiron, he didn't play, I believe, because he late when he come back from international duty. But if he come and play, where do you think he will play instead of home?
Well, if he comes in,
if this is let's say this is the starting formation, he will play in lineup or instead of the subs.
Wait, he play the line. If he was to come in, if he was playing, I can see Murphy being on the bench. I don't want Murphy to be on the bench. I want Murphy to stay. But if anybody was going to drop out for Almiron, it'd be Murphy, I think. I'd like to see if Almiron comes back in, then perhaps. No, I can't see if Almiron comes back in, he has to come in for Joe Willock or Murphy. That's where he would play, in where Joe Willock is or where Murphy is. That's where Almiron would have to play.
Okay, so what about the three in the front, the triangle?
I wouldn't change it.
Wouldn't change it.
I wouldn't change it. I'd keep Joe. Joe Linton deserves to keep his place.
Yes. So Fraser as a sub, or you don't want to see him as well?
No, Fraser as a sub.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'd have to drop Matt Ritchie for Fraser.
Yeah.
And I don't think.
So,
I think Ritchie gives you that extra dimension with the crosses, whereas Fraser gives you that extra bit of running around. But the crosses come from Ritchie. Because I'd keep Shelby in as well. Because he played well on Saturday.
at the beginning, yes, but
Yeah.
lately, become very slow at last 30 minutes.
Substitution. He could have been substitute. You bring on at that point. Then you
And
should have.
and yeah, I remember his long pass was يعني how to say it was shite.
But then again, but his pass for the pass that he made to they call him San Maximan, who got into the box, and then Joe Linton scored. You know, that all came from a 30-40 yard pass from Shelby.
Okay, so maybe that's only I didn't maybe notice this.
You got to look at that, and he actually won the ball off two Brentford players. He had the ball, lost it, won it back off two Brentford players, and at the same time crossed the pitch to San Maximan, who then ran into the box and caused all sorts of panic, and the ball fell to Joe Linton, and Joe Linton stuck it in the net. So yeah, and that all came from Shelby. He's not the world's best. Don't get me wrong, but he's better than what else we have at the moment. Until we can go and sign Lionel Messi or Haaland or Mbappe, then I'm sorry, but we're going to have to put up with Shelby for a few more weeks yet.
But why you didn't think we didn't see Hayden?
I just don't think he works hard enough. You know, my opinions on Hayden, I've said to you before, I don't think Hayden does enough. I think he gives the ball away too much. He's always looking around instead of actually closing down. He doesn't seem to be in the right position. He doesn't seem to know where to go. He's always like lost. He's always like where to go next. You know, and I think that's why he hasn't played. He just looks lost in midfield.
All right. So what?
You're not sure, are you?
No, because I like you have a point, but maybe I just like him after the score against Brighton. It was great. So yeah, I love people who score really. Okay, so do you think last question about Newcastle? Do you think any change in Wilson performance?
Wilson was no, I thought Wilson worked very hard. Wilson worked very hard on Saturday. He was doing a lot of movement off the ball, and he took the Brentford defence because they were scared of him, and they were following him.
Yes.
Which left on the left. They had two people on San Maximan and two people on Wilson, which left Joe Linton to do a bit more. So you've got to look at the whole game with Wilson, and he did a tremendous amount of work up front. A lot of running off the ball, a lot of barging, he did a tremendous amount of work around the top of the pitch, which I think a lot of people missed. And you can, if you go back and watch it slowly, you'll see him in the work that he's doing. And he was being fouled left, right, and centre, pulled, pushed, kicked. You know, we should have had a number of free kicks against Wilson because they just didn't let him have his own space.
Would you look for a striker to be in the lineup instead of Wilson in January transfer market?
I don't know, and I don't.
I want someone very fast, very high agility.
Yeah. So you want Usain Bolt? Usain Bolt's very fast, but he can't play foot. But he can't play football.
Yeah, it's like we need someone like Samuel Eto'o style, or maybe Diaz from Porto. We need someone very agility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand where you're coming from, but I don't think Wilson, if he's injury prone, then yes, we need another striker to replace him. But I don't know. So was it? What the? What's this latest story? What's this? Newcastle on the running. Yeah. He has a one for you. Someone called Nunez.
Nunez, familiar.
Yeah. He's a striker. Plays for Benfica.
Yeah, familiar.
Yeah. He's apparently he's a name on the list. But he may be going to Atletico Madrid. But he's a player that Newcastle are interested in.
Very cool. Yeah. So
so he
how
said,
much he scored with Benfica this season, or maybe last season?
What's that?
How many goals he scored?
Let's have a look. Well, apparently they're wanting 150 million euros for him. So he's got to have scored a lot of goals. It doesn't say how many. It doesn't say how many goals he's actually scored so far.
Yeah, I will add him on the list and take a look, closer look on him.
Yeah, Nunez. Yeah, it's called Darwin Nunez.
Right. Okay, so Portuguese league. I think if we struggle with Premier League teams, and if they didn't want to sell us a player, so maybe we'll go to Portuguese league. Especially if we in the summer we have plenty of time, but in the January we just have to hunt them very quickly.
Yeah.
So let's go to Arsenal now. So Arsenal got beaten 4-0 from Liverpool. First about 30 minutes they were okay. They were head to head with Liverpool, and we see the clash between Arteta and Klopp. And I think this formation was just for Liverpool. I don't think this is for us. What do you think, Dave?
I think you're right. I think this is it was just for Liverpool. They had four in defence, 4 in midfield, and some of those players in midfield would obviously drop back to support the back four. So yeah, I think I can see the Aubameyang, Lacazette, Smith Rowe,
Saka,
Thomas
Partey, right?
What's that?
Thomas, number 5, or someone else? Thomas,
yeah.
Thomas Partey?
Don't know what he's.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't think Sambi Loco. I don't know who that is. I don't think they'll play. I think there'll be a different lineup across the midfield. But I can't see that. I think the only thing is with a formation. I think they'll come at us I think they'll set up exactly the same we will do. I think they'll come up with a 3-4-3. And I think Smith Rowe or Saka will play alongside Aubameyang or Lacazette, and I think they'll play 3 up front, same as what we will. I think they'll match us exactly. I just hope that we've got a bit more about than what Arsenal have. Because they are.
What do you think of Ramsdale? I think he gets supported by Arteta, but is he that good?
He's a good goalkeeper. I wouldn't put him. I wouldn't say he's the top rank. I think certainly better than Pickford. But goalkeeping wise, He's a good goalkeeper. Let's just say he's a good goalkeeper. I just didn't think he was ready to be. He's to me, I still think he's too young as a goalkeeper to be playing in the Arsenal team. I think he's still a young kid.
For me, I watched the game, Liverpool and Arsenal, and I was surprised that Aubameyang, Saka, Smith Rowe, almost nothing interested came from them. So I'm very worried about backlash from them against us in the London. So about the game, we talked yesterday with Charlie in the space that we've been to London 3 times. If we don't include the protest, it's a 3. If we include the protest, it will be 4. Sorry. So we went for the team went 3 times, each time with different coach. First time against West Ham at the opening of the season, 4-2. Second time Crystal Palace with Graham Jones, 1-1. And this is going to be the 3rd time. So do you remember or do you recall, Dave, when we last time win against Arsenal in London?
In London, I can remember Andy Carroll scoring a goal against him. I think that's probably the last time we won. Last time we won there.
Yes, it was 2010.
2010.
Yes.
Dear me.
It was It was under Alan Bardo, and we got 5th in the league that season, and Arsenal got 3.
Mm-hmm. Wait, but you've got to look at the fact. When was the last time we went to Man City and won? When was the last time we went to Liverpool and won? There's games that there's teams that you play who are always going to be one of those teams that you struggle to beat at their place. And I think
hopefully soon, Dave, it will be the opposite.
You know what? If we go to Arsenal and we get a draw at Arsenal, I'm happy. I'm happy if we get a draw at Arsenal.
Of course, me too.
So, I don't want to go to Arsenal and get turned over. I don't want to come away from Arsenal getting beat 5-0 because we haven't defended properly. If we go there and come away with a 0-0, a 1-1, a 2-2, a 3-3, I'll be over the moon, because it means we'll have actually competed. We'll have competed with Arsenal rather than just sat back. Whereas if we'd had Steve Bruce, we would have sat back and we would get stuffed. We would get stuffed because you give Aubameyang and you give Lacazette that sort of space, they will score hatfuls of goals. So, and they've got Saka and they've got Smith Rowe as well, 2 other good players who can score goals. So no, let's just see what we can come away with. Come away with a point, at least a point.
Okay, so I expect Eddie Howe or and Jason, they will play different than Brentford game. More defensively, maybe, not just making. We'll be careful from the. Because,
I think there will be, but that's always the same when you go away from home, though, isn't it? You look to hit teams on the break, But I don't think we'll go back to the back 5. I don't think we'll go to a back 5. I still think we'll come out and we'll attack, but we'll be a bit more savvy. We'll be a bit more aware of how Arsenal can break us down. So I think there will be a better defensive setup. I hope there'll be a better defensive setup. But I think there might be a slightly different way of playing on against Arsenal than what we did against Brentford.
Okay, so your expectation results, because we know that we are looking for Burnley and Norwich game as 6 points, But as you said, we will be over the moon if we get 1 point at least. So what do you think the result will be?
I think it'll be either 0-0 or 1-1. 0-0 or 1-1, either way. I don't think it's going to be high scoring because I think we've got a bit more about where.
Last time we win, it was 2018. We win in St. James Park 2-1. And I think Rafa Benitez era. Remember that? Recall this game?
Yeah, there was a. Was it not 2-0? Was it not 2-0? Because I remember.
I think 2-1. If I'm because I read it 2-1. I think I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's because I remember seeing John Bercow, who at the time was the Speaker of the House of Commons, and John Bercow was the Speaker, and he's a mad Arsenal supporter, and I like the man because he should tell Boris Johnson to shut up, and I was speaking to him before the game, and I remember we actually beat Arsenal, I think in Norway. And I sent him a message afterwards and said, "Oh, you got beat. We beat you. I told you we beat you. You know." But so yes, it'll be either 2-0 or 2-1. But I can't remember exactly. So
the score, I think Richie and someone, I forget actually. I forget to write it down, but it was Richie the first goal. Yeah.
All right. I can't. Just looking something up here. Something just popped up. Eddie Howe might be on the bench on Saturday.
Huh?
Eddie Howe might be there on Saturday.
Who say that?
Just what's in the what's coming up on the mag. They're saying that there's a good chance Howe hasn't given up hope of leading Newcastle for the first time at Arsenal on Saturday.
But sorry, which channel? This one?
The mag.
I'm not sure.
It's the fanzine, the mag.
Fanzine, but okay. But what's their source?
Nah, they've got their own sources. They don't say who their source is. They've just said, however, both the Telegraph and the Mail report that Eddie Howe hasn't given up hope of leading Newcastle for the first time at Arsenal on Saturday. However, he will have to return a negative test to be released from isolation. So if he passes,
I really wish to see him. Really,
so do I. I think you make a difference. So
yes.
Whereas I think Jason Tyndall will do the press conference on Friday. I keep my fingers crossed that Eddie Howe will be on the bench on Saturday. Keep my fingers crossed. You know.
Brilliant. So could you just later, now or later, if you can, just send me the article or the new.
We'll do.
Yeah.
We'll
All right. So okay, now we'll go to the comments. We have few comments here. We'll come to it. Okay. اوكي طبعا ندعوكم رابطه مشجعي او نادي مشجعي نادي نيوكاسل للحضور مباراه نيوكاسل مع ارسنال يوم السبت الساعه 3 في روش كافيه حي المروج. ان شاء الله يعني نبغى نلتقي فيكم ويعني نسعد يعني بالحديث والتواصل لتطوير او النقاش بامور كثيره تخص نادي نيوكاسل او اشياء بعض الخدمات اللي احنا قاعدين نحاول نقدمها للمشجعين. طيب نزلت طبعا في الموقع الويب سايت. حاليا احنا نعمل على التسجيل، تقريبا وصلنا تقريبا الان 250 مشترك او عضو في الرابطه. اللي ما وصلوا ايميل الكود التخفيض للمنتجات والعضويه راح تلقاه في الجنك ميل، او اذا ما وصلك ممكن تراسلنا على الايميل الموجود برضو على الخاص. ايضا نزلت الباكيجات جديده لمباريات بيرلي، راح نرتوتها الان في حسابنا في تويتر. طبعا مفصل بكل التفاصيل اللي هي الاقامه في فندق بجانب الملعب مع التذكرتين في مكان جيد، في مكان ممتاز، تذكرتين بلاتينوم. هذه حنا رتوتنا الان على حساب الرابطة طبعا في مباراة بيرلي. أيضا موجود من مباراة مانشستر سيتي في 19 ديسمبر. عرض حلو طبعا. يوجد خصم لأعضاء نادي المشجعين فقط. كل ما عليك أن تذهب وتسجل إيميلك فقط في أسفل رابط الموقع. أيضا مباراة مانشستر يونايتد برضو نزل الباكج حقها اليوم. عروض خاصة طبعا. وما زال موجود عرض نوريتش اللي تم تخفيضه بسبب التخفيض، يعني عرض خاص الآن لمباراة نوريتش اللي عنده طبعا فيزا. اللي ما عنده فيزا ما راح يمديه بسبب البلاك فرايداي أو الجمعة البيضاء اللي نسميه. نزل العرض بشكل مرة يعني عرض قوي جدا مباراة نوريتش اللي يقدر يروح. طبعا عندنا موقع الرابطة. معليش عندي صور كثير. طبعا هذا شعار الرابطة. طبعا عندنا الفيديو.
I'm coming home, Newcastle. Ben over all the way. What a goal! Hassan Ben over! A magnificent goal! I'm coming home, Newcastle. Cisse. Oh, that is sensational!
Now we'll go to the comments. We have few comments here. Okay, and so maybe some negative comments.
Oh, negative. Oh, yes.
No, it's just I think he's come with agenda. يعني واضح إنه جاي. Okay.
What's he said?
الأخ ثامر يعني واضح إنه زعلان أو شايل في قلبه شوية، ما نعرف ليش. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's angry from results yesterday. I'm not really sure. But he's saying now, يعني he's making fun that we are now tour guiding. So what?
So what? That's what we're doing, though, isn't it? You are selling the Northeast. You are selling Riyadh and Saudi Arabia to the people of the Northeast, and what I'm doing is trying to get the people of Saudi Arabia interested in Newcastle. We want to share. We want to be as one, and that's how you do that.
I know, Dave. This is just, I think he just is angry or maybe, I don't know, sad about something or he's bored. Anyway, okay, طيب. يعني حياك معانا، ويعني حياك معانا ثامر. يعني تعال علمنا كيف نتكلم يعني بشكل أفضل. حياك الله. اوكي. اتوقع نيوكاسل يسوون، والله يعني احنا مع نيوكاسل قلبا وقالبا. يعني اذا في نادي برضو يعني ما عندنا مانع، لكن احنا مواصلين ان شاء الله. عيسى، ثانك يو عيسى. ثumb up but I don't know for what, but thank you. Brian Johnson, evening lads. We can arrange a trip to Core Bridge next time, Alwaleed. I live very close to the wall. So nice. I think Core Bridge. I read it in the slides, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you did. So Core Bridge is the Roman town I was telling you about. So that's the Roman town, but it's at Core Bridge itself. It's a town which is built on the old Roman town, and part of the Roman wall actually goes through the town. But it's a lovely village. My brother used to DJ at one of the local pubs there. He used to DJ at the Golden Fleece, I think it was. It used to be on a Friday night. He'd go out there. The Golden Fleece, obviously, a pub. I know people from Saudi don't go to pubs, but you know. He used to do it. He used to do karaoke and all that sort of stuff at the Golden Fleece in Corbridge. Corbridge is a nice place to go if you want a coffee or you want to go for an English tea. Have you ever had English tea?
Of course, yes. Even
No,
in Riyadh,
not the cup of tea. English tea.
What it's called? The famous one, Twinks.
Where?
Twinks.
Twinks.
Yeah. You don't know Twinks?
No,
Tw-
no. There's
Twings, maybe. Okay, let me
Twining.
just.
No, Twinings. You're thinking of Twinings.
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 Sorry,
That's
twings.
Twinings was actually based in the northeast, and the man who actually owned Twinings, he actually paid for West Auckland Football Club, who are from Durham, to represent England in the World Cup. At the time, it was called Lipton's. It was Lipton's Trophy.
Lipton, yeah.
Lipton's Trophy. So, so he paid for this team to go and beat Juventus in the final 2 years running in the Club World Cup. That was in 1910. So there you go. Tea, but no, the English tea, right? It's a set meal where you would go to a tea house, and you'd be served small sandwiches, cakes.
Yeah, it's like tea party. They call it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tea party. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you can go for tea parties at in Corbridge. Very nice. Yeah. So if Brian's going to take you, fantastic.
Yeah, hopefully next time. And it's going to be inshallah soon. Also, Brian said, great learning a little about Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we were saying to this bloke before. This is what it's about. We need to know about Saudi Arabia. It's been hidden for so long, and you can understand why it has been hidden for so long. And now we want to come to Saudi Arabia, and we need to know what you showed us about what we can come and do. So it's brilliant that we can come and race cars across deserts and go skiing. go skiing in the desert.
Yeah, see, everything we have. Okay, let's remind me of the part. Maybe I forget. I will ask you now to if you have any word you want to know in Arabic, and vice versa. So, which word you want to know in Arabic or sentence? I will say it in a simple way.
Yeah. Wait, what I'm trying to think of, is trying to think, you know, like how are the lads? But I mean, how are the lads is that's just ordinary. That I mean, you would say how are the lads, wouldn't you?
Yeah, يعني the simple way we can say
come on, my lads, come on, my boys.
Okay, you know, remember حياكم الله?
حياكم الله, yeah.
Yeah, you can say حياكم يا شباب.
حياكم يا شباب.
حياكم يا شباب. حياكم يا شباب is how the lads.
حياكم يا شباب. حياكم يا شباب.
Or you could say different way. You can say عاشوا الشباب.
What? Ashley.
خلاص, forget it. No. عاشوا. It's not Ashley. عاشوا, but we didn't say it. يعني we didn't say it. So you can say حيا الله الشباب or كيف حالكم يا شباب. This is how you say how are the lads.
Yeah.
حيا الله الشباب. حيا الله الشباب is more makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so for me, I would like to know if I am going to a group of friends, or I just enter a room or a place. What should I say to greet the people in Jordi? You know, get me? So what should I say in entrance a place? Or you just go quiet?
No,
and instead of hello, good evening, no. What is the famous entrance opening sentence?
It's like what I say to you. You all right, bunny lad? You know, you go in, you got all right, everybody.
Okay, all right, everybody.
All right, everybody. Are you all right?
All right, everybody.
You all right? Or if it's like say it's just one or two people, it's a case of You know, it's just been.
That's remind me in the hotel, Dave. Actually, yani, don't be angry for me, but I'm not a fan of Are You Read, actually, to be honest.
Right.
Because every time I go from the elevator down to the reception, I'm going out. I just open the door of elevator. The reception says, "Are you read?" I feel
Yeah.
like I'm doing a mistake or something wrong with me.
No, it's just the way it's just the way of actually breaking that ice. All right.
Ah,
So
yeah, but
it's not
mm,
asking you if you're fine. It's not asking if you're well. It's just like, you all right? You all right?
yeah, but because my second language is English, so usually in our study mostly it was like more American way. So usually say, "Are you all right?" This is يعني even in the hospital when we study about CPR, are you okay? Are you all right? So we got this as an issue. Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yeah.
So when we hear this now, it's weird for me. It's like I'm
I can,
okay. What's
I'm
wrong?
okay. What's wrong? I can understand where you're coming from when you put it that way.
Yeah, that's
But
why we feel it's weird. Are you? No, not this. Not this is only the way it's like sometimes they are shocked. Are you right?
you all right?
It's like
But
yes, I'm
it's
right.
how you pronounce it. It's how you pronounce it and how you actually put it out there. You got to go.
Yeah.
No, if you go,
Are you
"Oh,
right? Yani if it's what's
says,
quite yeah.
are you all right? Are you all right? You know, it's
Mm.
like there's a concern in your voice. But when you walk into a room and you're going, "Are you all right, lads?" You know, people with a smile on your face. You all right?
Yeah.
You know,
You're
it's
right. You're right, everybody. It's like, are you right,
exactly.
lads?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool. Are you right, everybody? Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because usually I come and say hello. No,
People
this is so typical.
people are
Okay,
going,
so
eh?
all
What?
right, everybody.
You going, what? What's he after? Hello?
All right, everybody. Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
So, okay, what is the answer for that?
Um, I find
I,
Bonnie. I find I
I.
Alright. I'm alright. Fine, Bonnie lad.
Yes,
Fine. You
great.
would normally get I'm fine, Bonnie lad. You would get
Mm.
I'm fine, which means doesn't mean you're going to get fined. Just means
Or
I
maybe,
am.
or maybe it doesn't need the replay. Maybe smile or like,
Or,
hey,
or
yeah.
what you get is somebody going alright. They'll just say alright back.
Yeah, I noticed Dr. Neil Mitchell on the show. Usually he said I
Aye,
only. So yeah, I
aye,
noticed that.
aye. Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Muhammad Al-Malki. So you still did it. Okay, we finished. We finished this part. Sorry. Muhammad Al-Malki said, "I am the only one uh, in the audience or writing in Arabic." Yeah, because now I think it's the time now. Everybody looking for the team Al Hilal, which we said they should say congratulations Al Hilal for winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
As a team from Saudi Arabia, we say congratulations. We are happy that we some team in Saudi Arabia make the Champions League in Asia. Congratulations to Al Hilal. So everybody now watching Al Hilal. It's actually on TV. The great celebration in Riyadh season place in the Boulevard, which in the tweet, please watch the tweet. I tweet regarding the season Riyadh. There is, and now I forget to retweet this as well. For anyone want to visit Riyadh soon, I suggest I will tweet a link. It's cause it contains every event in Riyadh season in English. Yes, this is it.
So it's like a Riyadh festival.
Yes, Riyadh Festival, everything, tickets, what's going on, photo, videos. Just put in Twitter. Oh, sorry. Yes, just tweet now. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've just
Sorry?
going to say I've been telling my wife that one of the places I'd want to go to in the next 2 years would be Riyadh. So hopefully I'll get the chance to come out to Riyadh.
Yeah, this is
and
going to be amazing.
Yeah.
You will have a great time. The Italians were expecting Woolwich.
yeah, they were expecting Woolwich Arsenal, which was
Dave,
what Arsenal were called originally. Arsenal were actually called the Woolwich Arsenal, which is where the army's arsenal was actually based, where they had all their weapons and guns and all that sort of stuff. They were called Woolwich Arsenal because they said WAFC were coming to Italy to play in the Club World Cup. But what they got was West Auckland FC. So they were both WAFC. And the Italians had to quickly change everything from Woolwich Arsenal to West Auckland. But West Auckland were the best team in the competition and they won it 2 years running.
but are we talking what? History or football?
History.
History. I thought it's about the football.
No, history of football.
History of football. I see.
They were the first World Cup winners. They were the first ever World Cup winners, and they were from the northeast of England.
Who?
West Auckland. The team at the end, the West Auckland Football Club were the first team to win the World Cup. The first ever team to win. It would be classed as the World Club Cup now. The one that Al Hilal's going to play in.
Yes.
Next year, Al Hilal will play in the World Club Championship with whoever wins the Champions League in Europe and whoever wins the Champions League in South America.
The Super.
The Super Cup, yeah.
Before World Cup.
Yeah.
Before World Cup, it was the Super. So West Auckland, it's from England.
Yeah.
They won the first Super.
The first, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I get it now.
In 1910. There's a very famous.
And what is Woolwich Arsenal?
Woolwich Arsenal was the original Arsenal.
Okay.
They were the original Arsenal,
Mm.
and a few years later they dropped the Woolwich bit and just became Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the original team, Woolwich Arsenal. But the Italians were expecting Woolwich Arsenal, and what they actually got was West Auckland. But West Auckland were the better team. They beat Juventus 4-2 in the final. They beat Juventus 4-2, and these were just a bunch of minors.
Brian says, "Good luck explaining this one day." No, I still didn't understand completely. What's the related between Auckland and Arsenal?
Well, I tell you what, there's a film. There's a film which was made for television a few years ago,
Okay.
which tells of the World Cup and West Auckland Football Club. Now, I'll see if I can find the link, and I'll send you the link. It's called A Captain's Tale, and it tells the story of this mining village in Durham who went to play in the World Cup and won the World Cup 2 years running. And it's a very good story about these lads going to play in the World Cup, and they were just miners. They didn't have any money, and the guy from Lipton's tea, he paid for them to go across, and they won the World Cup twice. And if I could send you a picture of the trophy, the first trophy was quite a big trophy, and I think they broke it. I think they broke the trophy.
Okay. Oh my God. Mashallah, you have a lot of information, Dave. Really happy to continue next week with our regular show. What you will gonna?
Can I just say next week? Sure. I don't know if I'll be available next week.
Okay.
I'm going to Aberdeen on the Monday. I'm traveling up to Aberdeen on the Monday. I'm going to see one of my pop groups that I like to go and watch. I'm going to see Paul Weller in concert in Aberdeen on the Tuesday night, and then I'm traveling back to Newcastle on the Wednesday morning. I should be back in time, but just in case, I'll let you know.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We can.
Oh, I want to be there if I can be there.
We we know this is it's going to happen. We can see later. But if this is good for you, we can make it Thursday. If this is okay with you, we'll discuss later about that. And if you go to Aberdeen, please bring us some information about Matt Longstaff.
There was some news yesterday. Actually, there was some rumours going around that he's not getting picked, and that he might be coming. Keith Patterson was playing. He might be coming back in January.
Okay,
might be coming back in January.
That would be great. So that's all what we have tonight. Hope you enjoy our show, and see you next week. Good night.
Cheers, lads.
وانثنينا يا هبوب النعاس والحلم، ألف غصن من اللباس بز لجلك وانثنى، اكسر الأوهام كاس وإن عشقتيني أنا. ما أبي من الناس وما علينا لو طربنا وانتشينا. ما رق الرياض، ما رق الرياض تالي الليل. أنا لو أبي خدتها بيدها ومشينا.
Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's the place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the banks of the river Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
بالنسبه لما يجيك ستيف بروس مثلا يحط لك 5 في خط الدفاع ويلعب مهاجمين،
Excuse me,
اللاعبين اللي
Ravi.
في النص.
What is your VPN?
My VPN?
Yes.
My VPN is Spider VPN.
I'm coming home, Newcastle.
Ben Arfa all the way. What a goal! Hassan Ben Arfa! A magnificent goal!
I'm coming home, Newcastle.
Cisse. Oh, that is sensational!
Welcome to the Toon. What is that? It's where the Georges live. What is a Geordie? Someone that lives in the Toon. You've a lot to learn, Bonnie lad.